Today we're talking about delivering to a job site construction. My name is Enis, Never Stop Trucking, and I am bringing new videos for you that help dispatchers, drivers, carriers, and such in this interesting industry. So if you are a dispatcher and a broker just offered you a load that goes to a construction site, or they call it a job site, anything like that, you have to do a lot of investigation before you even book that load, and then even after you book the load. So if they tell you construction site, well, you would have to ask them, like, of course, what kind of construction site? What is it? Is it a new store, a new factory, a new building? Is it a convention center, a stadium? The more specifics you can get, the better for you and for the driver. You also have to ask them other things like, is there going to be a crew? Usually these construction sites, they don't have employees where you can just back up to a dock and just, ask for someone in receiving and, or shipping to load you and unload you. They go to somewhere where something is being built, and then all these workers, came from somewhere, usually from all over the country, and then everyone is in charge of something, and then there is a person in charge of receiving that kind of specific product that you have, and they have a crew, so you usually have to contact them first, or the driver. It's best if the driver contacts them, and then you always ask for a phone number for someone who is in charge, unless the broker already tells you all that. So driver usually has to call in advance, like a day before, and ask them for directions first, and ask them, because probably this will not be on Google Maps because it's being built. So ask that supervisor over there, how do I get there as a driver? Are there any restrictions? What's the best way to approach the building? Which entrance do I use? Where are you going to be? How am I going to contact you when I get to the construction site? Are you gonna answer? Is there another backup contact if you don't answer, if you're busy? I'm right there in the middle of the street. It's probably a busy street, and I don't know where to enter because they don't have signs. It's just dirt. So where does the driver go? Because usually, a lot of flatbed trucks, they would deliver things like that. But with dry vans, if you're working with the dry van, then that's different because we are not used to those kind of deliveries. We're used to having a nice parking lot with a dock, where we can just back up and get unloaded. We're not used to, unloading somewhere in the middle of a field or somewhere in the dirt like that. Speaking of that, the driver has to make sure that, like, is it raining? Is it snowing? Is the driver going to get stuck there? How is the driver going to go in? Which way are they going to go out? Because when you go to a construction site, you got to, drive between the pallets that they have, between the temporary buildings that they have there, like containers, their trucks, their equipment. It's hard to turn around, so sometimes you have to go in one way and go out the other way. Which way are they going to position the back of the trailer when they get to the construction site? A lot of things that a driver has to ask before they come in. So you have to make sure that you have a contact, and that contact is going to answer on that day, like when the driver shows up there. And then when the driver gets there, do they have driver assist? Does the driver have to do anything? Does the driver have to tailgate the product to the end of the trailer and they just take it off with a forklift or a SkyTrack? If these are long pallets, how are they going to take them? Because you need long forks for long pallets. Or do they have them on the side? If they don't have a pallet jack, how are they gonna get to the pallets that are in the nose of the trailer? Sometimes they can, with SkyTrack, they can extend the forks way over there, but usually they don't go all the way to the nose. They have to use straps or chains, and then the driver has to hook up those chains to the pallet, and they just pull them out with a forklift or a Skytrack, to the back of the trailer and then grab it. So the driver would have to ask all of those things, and then even you as dispatcher, have to ask not just like where is it going, what kind of company is it, but also what kind of product is it. Is it even for a van? Because, a number of times we went to pick up something and they just said, well, no, this is a flatbed load. It cannot be loaded on a van. It's something long or something awkward, something tall. You don't know. So what is it exactly? Is it on pallets? How big are the pallets? How are they going to unload them? How heavy is it? Is it all strapped together? Is it just going to fall over? All kinds of questions you have to ask. And then when the driver gets there for the pickup, then they have to make sure that this is what they told you it was. It's not something that's not safe to transport. A driver has to worry like, hey, they can just push all this in. They push it in, but how are they going to get it out? That's another thing. And then after you book the load, you can also help the driver. You go to Google Maps, even maybe you can call that a person or the driver that's waiting over there at the job site, but make sure you go to Google and then look it up. And if the driver is not sure how to get there, have them on the phone at the same time, both of you looking at the map, or at least you, and then you can see like what's being built there, what is new. How can the driver, from which way can they come in? Is there something that can help the driver while they're delivering the load? And this is it for this time. Thanks for watching. Like this video and subscribe to the channel. Come back for more. I'll see you around.